أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Surah 56, Al-Waqia. Title. The opening word of the Surah, Al-Waqia, forms this Surah's title. Period of revelation. Abdullah ibn Abbas is on record stating that the Surahs were received in the following order: Taha, Al-Waqia, and
Ash-Shu'ara.
Suyuti al-Itqan. Ikrama endorses the same order. Behaki, Dalail al-Nabuwa. The above is borne out also by the incident related to Umar's acceptance of Islam, as described by Ibn Hisham on the authority of Ibn Ishaq. When Umar entered his sister's house, Surah Taha was being recited there. On hearing his footsteps, his sister and her husband hid the pages containing the surah. Umar first thrashed his brother-in-law, and when his sister tried to intervene, he hit her so hard that she received a serious injury. On seeing the blood flowing profusely from her head, he relented and asked them to show him the scripture which they had kept aside. He wanted to see its contents. His sister told him, "As a polytheist, you are impure. Only the pure may touch it." Umar took a bath and then studied it. This shows that Surah Al-Waqia had been revealed by then, for the directive about touching the Quran in a state of purity features in this particular surah. We know for certain that Umar embraced Islam in the 5th year of the Prophet's mission, which further helps to date this incident. Subject matter and themes. This surah removes the doubts of the unbelieving Makkans about the hereafter, the Quran, and monotheism. For them, the doctrine of the last day was most incredible. It was unimaginable for them that the present order of the universe would collapse altogether one day and that the dead would be brought back to life. Their accountability, the admission of the pious to the gardens of paradise, and the hurling of the evil ones into hell were concepts beyond their comprehension. For them, it all seemed like a flight of fancy that would never come true. In this surah, they are told that when this great event happens, no liar will be able to deny it, nor will anyone be able to defer or stop the event. On the Day of Judgment, humankind would be divided into 3 groups. 1. Those who were the first to believe. 2. The pious. And 3. The unbelievers who had rejected the doctrine of the hereafter and persisted in their unbelief, in polytheism, and major sins until their last breath. Verses 7 to 56 of this surah graphically describe the rewards and consequences awaiting each of these 3 groups. Verses 57 to 74 contain a series of arguments adduced one after another that vindicate the truth of these basic Islamic doctrines. The unbelievers rejected out of hand the doctrines of monotheism in the hereafter. These arguments draw man's attention to his own self, his food and drink, and the fire on which he cooks his food. Man is asked to reflect on how he can dare claim self-sufficiency or rebel against Allah when he is created and sustained by Allah. How can he think of serving anyone other than his Lord? How can he suppose that Allah, who created him in the first place, would be unable to recreate him? Verses 75 to 82 allay misperceptions about the Quran. The unbelievers are told that they have received a great blessing, the Quran, yet they deny it. Far from being guided by it, they disregard it altogether. To assert the truth of the Quran, the surah presses home the amazing point that the Quran has a perfect structure, similar to the one found in the stars and planets of this universe. This proves that both the Quran and the universe have been brought into being by the same Creator. The unbelievers are also told that the Quran is inscribed in a heavenly tablet that is inaccessible to creatures. They mistakenly think that devils bring it to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. However, its transmission from the heavenly tablet to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, is managed by angels alone. No one else has any role in its sending down. Man is finally warned that notwithstanding all of his arrogance and false sense of power, truth will dawn upon him at his death. But he will be totally helpless in those last moments. He will not be able to save his own parents and children, nor rescue his leaders and mentors. As they die, all human beings only watch helplessly. There is no power other than Allah. If man is all-powerful, why does man not bring the dying one back to life? The same utter helplessness on man's part will mark his accountability before Allah and his reward and punishment. Every dying person will meet his end, regardless of his faith or unbelief. If one is devout, he will have a happy end. However, unbelievers will meet the end of the wicked.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate.
إذا وقعت الواقعة
When the event will come to pass,
ليس لوقعتها كاذبة
and then there will be no one to deny its occurrence.
خافضة رافعة
A calamitous event that shall turn things upside down.
إذا رجت الأرض رجا
When the earth will suddenly shake with a terrible shaking.
When the earth will suddenly shake with a terrible shaking. This earthquake will not be confined to any particular part of the earth. Instead, it will shake the whole earth terribly.
وبست الجبال بسا
And the mountains will crumble,
فكانت هباء منبثا
and will scatter abroad into fine dust.
وكنتم أزواجا ثلاثة
You shall then become three groups.
فأصحاب الميمنة ما أصحاب الميمنة
The people on the right, and how fortunate will be the people on the right.
وأصحاب المشأمة ما أصحاب المشأمة
And the people on the left, and how miserable will be the people on the left.
والسابقون السابقون
As for the foremost, they will be the foremost.
أولئك المقربون
They shall be near stationed to their Lord.
في جنات النعيم
In the gardens of bliss.
ثلة من الأولين
A throng of the ancients,
وقليل من الآخرين
and a few from later times.
على سرر موضونة
They will be seated on gold-encrusted couches,
متكئين عليها متقابلين
reclining on them, arrayed face to face.
يطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون
Immortal youths shall go about them.
Immortal youths shall go about them. That is, they will always remain young and will never be subjected to old age.
بأكواب وأباريق وكأس من معين
With goblets and ewers, and a cup filled with a drink drawn from a running spring.
لا يصدعون عنها ولا ينزفون
A drink by which their minds will not be clouded, nor will it cause drunkenness.
وفاكهة مما يتخيرون
They will also go about them with the fruits of which they may choose,
ولحم طير مما يشتهون
and with the flesh of any fowl that they may desire to eat.
وحور عين
And there shall be wide-eyed maidens,
كأمثال اللؤلؤ المكنون
beautiful as pearls hidden in their shells,
جزاء بما كانوا يعملون
all this shall be theirs as a reward for their deeds.
لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا تأثيما
There they shall hear no idle talk, nor any sinful speech,
إلا قيلا سلاما سلاما
all talk will be sound and upright.
وأصحاب اليمين ما أصحاب اليمين
As for the people on the right, how fortunate shall be the people on the right.
في سدر مخضود
They shall be in the midst of thornless low trees.
They shall be in the midst of thornless low trees. These will be lote trees, but with a difference. They will be without thorns. It is well known that the more superior the quality of a lote tree, the fewer are its thorns. The lote trees being described here will be of the very highest quality, free of thorns.
وطلح منضود
And flower-clad acacias,
وظل ممدود
and extended shade,
وماء مسكوب
and gushing water,
وفاكهة كثيرة
and abundant fruit,
لا مقطوعة ولا ممنوعة
never ending and unforbidden.
وفرش مرفوعة
They shall be on upraised couches.
إنا أنشأناهن إنشاء
And their spouses, we shall have brought them into being afresh,
فجعلناهن أبكارا
and shall have made them virgins,
عربا أترابا
intensely loving and of matching age.
لأصحاب اليمين
All this will be for the people on the right.
ثلة من الأولين
A large throng from the ancients,
وثلة من الآخرين
and also a large throng from those of later times.
وأصحاب الشمال ما أصحاب الشمال
As for the people on the left, how miserable will be the people on the left.
في سموم وحميم
They will be in the midst of scorching wind and boiling water,
وظل من يحموم
and a shade of thick pitch black smoke,
لا بارد ولا كريم
which will neither be cool nor soothing.
إنهم كانوا قبل ذلك مترفين
Surely they had lived before in luxury,
وكانوا يصرون على الحنث العظيم
and had persisted in the great sin,
وكانوا يقولون أإذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أإنا لمبعوثون.
They used to say, "What? Once we are dead and are reduced to dust and bones, shall we still be raised to a new life from the dead?
أَوَآبَاؤُنَا الْأَوَّلُونَ
We and our forefathers of yore."
قُلْ إِنَّ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَالْآخِرِينَ
Tell them, O Prophet, the earlier ones and the later ones
لَمَجْمُوعُونَ إِلَى مِيقَاتِ يَوْمٍ مَّعْلُومٍ
shall all be brought together on an appointed day.
ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ أَيُّهَا الضَّالُّونَ الْمُكَذِّبُونَ
Then you, the erring ones, and those that gave the lie to the truth,
لآكلون من شجر من زقوم
Shall all eat from the tree of Al-Zakum,
فمالئون منها البطون
filling your bellies with it.
فشاربون عليه من الحميم
And thereupon you shall drink boiling water,
فشاربون شرب الهيم
drinking it as thirsty camels do.
هذا نزلهم يوم الدين
Thus shall they be entertained on the day of recompense.
نحن خلقناكم فلولا تصدقون
We have created you, then why would you not confirm it?
We have created you. Then why would you not confirm it?
Since human beings have been created by God, there is no reason why they should not affirm that He is their Lord, that He is the only object of their worship, and that He has the power to restore them to life after death.
أفرأيتم ما تمنون
Did you ever consider the sperm that you emit?
أأنتم تخلقونه أم نحن الخالقون
Do you create a child out of it, or are we its creators?
نحن قدرنا بينكم الموت وما نحن بمسبوقين
It is we who ordain death upon you, and we are not to be frustrated.
على أن نبدل أمثالكم وننشئكم فيما لا تعلمون
Had we so wished, nothing could have hindered us from replacing you by others like yourselves, or transforming you into beings you know nothing about.
ولقد علمتم النشأة الأولى فلولا تذكرون
You are well aware of the first creation. Then, do you learn no lesson from it?
أفرأيتم ما تحرثون
Have you considered the seeds you till?
أأنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون
Is it you or we who make them grow?
لو نشاء لجعلناه حطاما فظلتم تفكهون
If we so wished, we could have reduced your harvest to rubble, and you would have been left wonderstruck to exclaim,
إنا لمغرمون
We have been penalized.
بل نحن محرومون
Nay, we have been undone.
أفرأيتم الماء الذي تشربون
Did you cast a good look at the water that you drink?
أأنتم أنزلتموه من المزن أم نحن المنزلون
Is it you who brought it down from the clouds, or is it we who brought it down?
لو نشاء جعلناه أجاجا فلولا تشكرون
If we had so pleased, we could have made it bitter. So why would you not give thanks?
أفرأيتم النار التي تورون
Did you consider the fire which you kindle?
أأنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون
Did you make its tree grow, or was it we who made it grow? Did you make its tree grow, or was it we who made it grow?
Human beings' attention is drawn to the trees out of whose timber they used to make fire. But the basic question is, who created these trees, man or God?
نحن جعلناها تذكرة ومتاعا للمقوين
We made it a reminder and a provision for the needy.
فسبح باسم ربك العظيم.
Glorify then, O Prophet, the name of your great Lord. Glorify then, O Prophet, the name of your great Lord.
All are urged to celebrate God's blessed name and glorify Him by proclaiming that He is exalted above all the defects, faults, and weaknesses which are ascribed by those who associate others with God in His divinity. These defects, faults, and weaknesses in fact underlie every kind of unbelief and polytheism, as well as the reasoning of those who deny the hereafter.
فلا أقسم بمواقع النجوم.
No, I swear by the positions of the stars. No.
The word "no" here suggests that the unbelievers' ideas concerning reality are altogether mistaken. This "no" before the swearing of the oath clearly indicates that the purpose of the oath is to refute the false ideas that people were wont to express about the Quran.
وَإِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ.
And this is indeed a mighty oath, if only you knew.
إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ كَرِيمٌ.
That this indeed is a noble Quran. That this indeed is a noble Quran.
The words, "the positions of the stars," refer to the positions, stages, and orbits of stars and planets. The purpose of swearing by the positions of stars is to stress that the same excellence found in the system governing celestial bodies also characterizes the Quran. The reason for saying so is to emphasize that the same God who brought the cosmic order into existence also revealed the Quran.
في كتاب مكنون.
Inscribed in a well-guarded book.
لا يمسه إلا المطهرون.
Which none but the pure may touch. Which none but the pure may touch.
The statement that the Quran has been sent down through pure angels underscores that it is free from every kind of defilement. This because it has always been beyond the axis of Satans who have nothing to do with this book.
تنزيل من رب العالمين.
A revelation from the Lord of the universe.
أفبهذا الحديث أنتم مدهنون.
Do you then take this discourse in light esteem?
وتجعلون رزقكم أنكم تكذبون.
And your portion in it is simply that you denounce it as false?
فلولا إذا بلغت الحلقوم.
Why then, when the soul leaps up to the throat,
وأنتم حينئذ تنظرون.
the while you are helplessly watching that he is on the verge of death,
ونحن أقرب إليه منكم ولكن لا تبصرون.
at that moment when we are closer to him than you, although you do not see us.
فلولا إن كنتم غير مدينين.
If you are not subject to anyone's authority,
ترجعونها إن كنتم صادقين.
why are you then not able to bring them back to life if you are truthful?
فأما إن كان من المقربين.
So if he is the one of those who are near station to Allah,
فروح وريحان وجنة نعيم.
then happiness and delight and gardens of bliss are his.
وأما إن كان من أصحاب اليمين.
And if he is one of the people on the right,
فسلام لك من أصحاب اليمين.
He will be welcomed by the words, peace to you, from the people on the right.
وَأَمَّا إِن كَانَ مِنَ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ الضَّالِّينَ
And if he is one of those who give the lie to this message and go astray,
فَنُزُلٌ مِّنْ حَمِيمٍ
then he will be served boiling water,
وَتَصْلِيَةُ جَحِيمٍ
and will be scorched by the fire.
إِنَّ هَذَا لَهُوَ حَقُّ الْيَقِينِ
That indeed is the absolute truth.
فَسَبِّحْ بِاسْمِ رَبِّكَ الْعَظِيمِ
So glorify the name of your great Lord.
So glorify the name of your great Lord. It was in keeping with this directive that the Prophet, peace be upon him, asked the Muslims to say, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, holy is my Lord, the All-Great, when they are in a state of ruku, bowing.